biggest takeout is one chance from the opponents versus so many chances that you create and you don't score. Then the outcome is a resemblance of us not taking the chances, the dominance that we had, especially on the first half. And I think this lesson should be taken going forward. I know it happens in other matches, but I thought we were in control, we were dominant. We created the chances, we knew how they were going to play. But the difference is that we did not take the chances that we created. 11 shots. I think they have 1 on target and 3. But possession close to 70. But it doesn't matter now. It's 1-1 because we did not take the chances that we had. That was the difference.
Any questions from the floor? We're now open for questions. Going once, going twice.
I'm just looking at the season, how it went. How can you sum up your season as Orlando Pirates? And also, just out of interest, how do you keep players motivated, knowing very well that there's nothing much really to play for and still get the performance like they did tonight?
I'm really proud of the players for the performance tonight. It was not an easy task. You play the semi-final, you lose in I think in 2 weeks. We lost 3 competitions. They lost a coach who has done well for the club, who has been very close to them. And then in that period, there's still games to be played, and you have to try and show the light. But it was important to look at the bigger picture. That one, there is still individual accolades for players to continue playing. Player of the season and all other accolades. There's still players to be selected in the national team. There is still a patch that needs to be respected. This club is about winning, and you must understand when we play for this club, you must win even a friendly match. So I thought the players bought into that concept with all what they were going through. Injuries into the senior players, you could see in some positions we were playing youngsters, give them an opportunity because we had a lot of injuries to the senior players. But I'm only saying this because you asked. Other than that, I wouldn't have, because at the end of the match, when you say this is an excuse, we wouldn't want to do that. And a lot of opportunities are by default, not by design. When players are injured, youngsters are there, they get an opportunity, and I'm sure their careers are not going to be the same after the opportunities that they had. So one good season for the club, depending on which podium you are standing in. If you look at trophies, winning trophies, there's 1 trophy. We missed on 3, and we're very close. But if you look at the whole development in the structure of the club, there's a lot of growth within the club.
Coach, congratulations to the game. I'm taking you back from the last interview when you said, why reinventing the wheel? Why fixing what is not broken? And today's game, I watched it with keen interest. And I realized that something big is coming for 2025, 2026. And one would say, if I was Vero sitting, some would say, something is definitely happening. Even the set piece that you took, I realized the invention of some sort.
I thought it wouldn't have been wise for us with 4 games to go, try and change a lot of things, but we did try and reinvent. You cannot play the same game plan for different opponents. So game plan, it will be different, but the behaviors we try to not to confuse the players. Really keeps with. In moments, it gets into the pocket, you do that. If you play against a three-man defense, you take away the reference. So Radio Pane is not sitting with them. He's lower, then you get width from the side. It's the same structure that we were doing before. Because if you try and something new, there's no time to train. If you were to ask me how many training sessions we had, maybe we had 4 training sessions in the whole period that we have been here. It's a lot of analysis. So even if you wanted to change, they wouldn't have had time to effect the changes. But I'm still proud of this group. It's a very good group, a prepared group, and the club should pride themselves for having players of this caliber.
Coach, Sia from Kickoff, there's been a bit of praise for a lot of praise for the younger players in the team, but how important have the senior players been to this group, the likes of Magesi, Smith, especially in a team like this where there's an influx of young players in the dressing room? How is that dynamic played out?
The club is blessed with good leaders, not only Sibisi. Thapelo Xhogi is one good human being that I've met in my football career as a coach. Selfless, supporting the young players, giving them direction. Miguel Team, Sibisi, Mayela. Mayela has been a captain who has not played many games, but he is always there to support and give direction to the players. For whatever reason, at this stage of our season, I thought we were blessed with a lot of senior players. If you have a lot of senior players in your team, two things can happen. They can either help the team to grow or they can suffocate the team. Other teams, it has been the opposite. But I think our group has assisted the youngsters to try and adapt quickly.
Coach, from CBC, how would you describe Mayela? I know you've just touched on him now, but not only as a player, I mean, he started also leading at a very young age. If you look at what he did with Tagara Zulu, leading as a young player, them to promotion, and then coming back here at Pirates. How would you describe him, especially in the last part? I guess it takes more than just leadership.
He's a product of this institution. I remember the first time I met him, he was playing for Tanda Zulu Royals. I was still in KZN. I saw this fast winger that I wanted to poach, but I was told that he belongs to the big institution. So you know that what should happen. A great human being. And sometimes we look at players and we forget that they are members of the society. It becomes very good when you have a good human being and a good player. It's moments like that where you continue being a leader, even if you are not inside the field of play. Highly intelligent, and I'm sure he's highly educated at home and in the institutions of learning. It's a blessing, and I'm sure his career is going to proceed. He's that type where it's not the end now. He's just taking another step and another direction in his career based on his humanity and his academic learning.
Hi, Coach Daniel from City Press. The head coach position is vacant. You are there, you've been there. What is going through your mind at the moment? Are you keen to give it another shot, or are you helping the team to look for another coach?
Nothing is happening in my head. It's empty. No, it's I have learned too much in this club. You don't only learn as a coach, you also learn as a human being. They teach you to be a better man. They teach you to be a better human being. And it augurs well for me because I'm not this type that is looking for opportunities. When I got into this club, I become sort of a servant. I want to serve this club. And you remember when you are appointed here, you must put your aspirations in the right place. You are here to serve, and if you are serving, you are not the one who determine which direction. It's a mission. You go with the mission. So because I'm here, it's a mission and a missionary. I will go where I'm being sent to go and preach the gospel. And it's not on me, it's the appointer who will take that direction. My aspirations, there's nothing in my mind.
We'll take the final question, final two questions.
Akhona amaphilosopher nasehlomuz. Inakhona amaphilosopher nasehlomuz.
Awufuna ukungifaka ekhoneni, angizi.
In a season that you've just had now, Coach, I was talking to Mabasa about this the other day. I mean, record number of wins. Even when this club achieved double treble, get this level of wins. On the continent, after 12 years, you get to the Champions League and got in that stage again. How do you then become to have a better 2025 to 26 season than this one? What becomes the target?
The truth is, how this institution operates, it's a submission of reports from different departments. Where did we go wrong? Where did we go right? Conditioning, science, technical, we have to submit reports. Specifically, what is it that we thought was right and did not go well? And still it's going to be scrutinized whether we are right. Data in this club is massive and it's important. It also informs the recruitment of players that are in or players that are going out. So I'm sure that process is going to take place. After that process, answers will be there. Where should we improve? Which players need to be recruited? Which players' contracts are renewed? The whole process. But I trust that process because in the beginning of the season, that's the same process that we went through. Identified areas of weakness and strength, and then we worked on that. Hence, there was improvement. I'm sure if the same process were to take place, we are going to be better. I'm confident on that side.
Final question?
Just, I don't know whether it's one of those where it becomes a compliment more than a question. The youthful side that you have now, it has been a revelation to South Africa, especially with the Orlando Pirates fans that came into the stadium, actually any other stadium. What are the plans when it comes to all these about 8 to 10 youngsters that you have, the under 20s, that game that you have for them going forward? Because at this time, I can tell you now that younger players get scared when it's this time where other new players will come in where they are not sure of their future. Something that you do work on, seeing that they're still young, and the influence of the fans having to do what you have done with the youth.
If I were to make reference, I think there was a team that was coached by Coach Papic, where that had the Kifle Remis. I'm sure they were also adopting the same approach of youngsters. Pomotso Manenze was part of that group. So Tugu Makanya, that group. I think the type of football that is played needs a lot of energy. And you get that from youngsters. If you coach them structurally and give them the support, I think it's better to use them than to recycle players that have played for a lot of teams. It's my personal opinion that I'll rather teach a youngster, a celebi, how to play, and still there's still room for improvement, than trying to get somebody who has went to so many clubs and be exposed to many coaching philosophies and try and transform him to be better. For me, it's a gain for our club to get youngsters. Celeb is no longer a youngster after now. Rele has done it. They are already Radio Pan. I thought he did so well today. So for me, it's gains than worries of what will happen next. We gain more Pirates. I can guarantee you now they've got options. If we're to go on the market and buy, do you go and buy strikers in all other countries in Africa, or do you try and groom Radio Pan? And I thought the approach from the club is the right one. There's gains than the report that says how many players are needed. I'm sure 5 or 6 young players will be ready to take and assume positions. Others need further development, but it will be decided at the right platform.